What is a modified radical mastectomy and who is a candidate for this?
So a modified radical mastectomy is when we take the breast tissue, so a total mastectomy, plus the lymph nodes. So an axillary lymph node dissection. So that surgery will remove all the lymph nodes under the affected side, the axilla, and all the breast tissue. It's called a modified radical because historically, before I was born, the radical mastectomy used to involve removing the pectoralis muscle as well. So the pec muscle is the one that the breast tissue lies on. And so now we know that there's no oncological or survival benefit from removing the muscle. So now if we're removing the breast and the lymph nodes, we call it a modified radical mastectomy. It's also okay to call it, sometimes on the consent for surgery, it's called a total mastectomy and axillary lymph node dissection. So that when you put those two together, it's also known as a modified radical mastectomy. Now, who needs a modified radical mastectomy? Definitely patients who have inflammatory breast cancer. That's a special subtype of breast cancer. So if you have inflammatory breast cancer, you should get a modified radical mastectomy. Other people who are a candidate for it are, what we talked about, anyone who needs their lymph nodes removed, like all of them, not the ones that are getting the sentinel lymph node biopsy. So those who have a high burden of disease in the axillary lymph nodes, along with, if they've chosen to have a mastectomy. So, if their tumor involves a large area of that breast, if there's a genetic mutation where we have to remove all the breast tissue, if there's multicentric disease, so if there's cancer in more than one quadrant or area of the breast. And typically the decision who needs a mastectomy versus lumpectomy is independent of what needs to be done in the axilla. So you can have a lumpectomy with an axillary lymph node dissection, or you can have a mastectomy with an axillary lymph node dissection, or you can have a mastectomy with a sentinel lymph node biopsy. So typically we make the decision about mastectomy or lumpectomy independent of the nodal status, right? Based on the factors that we talked about early on. And then the decision about whether all the lymph nodes need to be removed, yes or no, it depends on, the stage and the presentation.